For years, Hollywood didn't ignore SB19. They simply didn't know how to categorize them. Too global for a niche, too disciplined to be dismissed, too consistent to be accidental. But in 2025, something changed. This wasn't a viral spike. This wasn't a trending hashtag. This was quiet validation. Industry eyes, closed-door conversations, and stages that don't invite experiments. Hollywood doesn't chase talent. It waits until talent proves it can survive pressure. And SB19 just passed that test. Today, we're breaking down why Hollywood is finally paying attention, and why this moment can't be undone. Like, subscribe and stay locked. This story is bigger than you think. Hollywood has never been impressed by raw talent alone, especially when it comes from outside the West. History shows a consistent pattern. Non-Western acts are ignored, underestimated, or politely observed from a distance until they prove something far more important than skill: structural inevitability. Latin pop wasn't embraced because it was catchy. It was embraced when touring power, crossover demand, and market stability made ignoring it financially irresponsible. K-pop followed the same path. Years of excellence meant little until systems, training pipelines, fandom economics, global touring reliability made success repeatable. Hollywood is not built to reward artistry first. It rewards risk reduction. Executives don't ask, "Is this good?" They ask, "Will this still work if attention shifts?" That's why viral moments rarely translate into long-term industry trust. Virality spikes, systems endure. This is the lens through which SB19 must be understood. Their 2025 attention isn't discovery, it's recognition. They didn't suddenly become talented. They crossed into the phase where performance consistency, audience loyalty, and professional discipline aligned into something Hollywood recognizes as safe to scale. The industry didn't wake up, it calculated. SB19 now sits where every globally successful non-Western act eventually lands, past novelty, past skepticism, and directly inside the inevitability zone, where ignoring them becomes a strategic mistake. This isn't luck. It's pattern recognition playing out exactly as it always has. What makes 2025 significant for SB19 isn't noise, it's silence. Breakout years are loud, convergence years are quiet, and 2025 was the latter. There was no single viral explosion, no forced Western push, no desperate visibility campaign. Instead, SB19 began appearing where cameras rarely follow: invite-only rooms, controlled environments, industry-filtered stages. The kind of places where potential is evaluated, not applauded. This was the year over-promotion stopped being necessary. Strategic restraint replaced constant output. Visibility became selective. That shift alone signaled confidence. In the entertainment industry, artists who over-explain themselves signal uncertainty. Artists who let access narrow signal leverage. Insiders noticed first because insiders always do. They don't react to trends, they monitor patterns. They saw consistency under pressure. They saw live reliability. They saw professionalism that didn't crack when stakes increased. By the time the public began sensing momentum, the industry had already updated its internal assessment. There's a defining moment in every global act's trajectory, when Hollywood stops asking, "Who are you?" and starts asking, "How far can this go?" That question doesn't come from hype. It comes from trust. In 2025, SB19 crossed that threshold quietly, deliberately, and without spectacle. And that's exactly why it matters. Hollywood has a deep skepticism toward artists built online, and for good reason. Digital popularity collapses under real-world pressure all the time. That's why live performance is the final filter, not choreography, not views, reliability. Can an act deliver the same standard on the 50th show as on the first? Can they hold a stage when conditions change, sound fails, or expectations spike? Elite stages don't test talent, they test durability. SB19 passed that test long before 2025, but this was the year it became impossible to overlook. Their rehearsal discipline mirrors Western touring systems. Repetition over improvisation, precision over spontaneity. Every movement is engineered to survive fatigue. Every vocal choice is designed for consistency, not spectacle. This isn't about impressing fans, it's about protecting performance integrity. Hollywood pays attention because volatility is expensive. One weak set can undo years of trust. That's why elite festivals, award stages, and international bookings gravitate toward acts that don't fluctuate emotionally or technically. SB19 doesn't perform like an internet group chasing moments. They perform like professionals safeguarding a brand. In this ecosystem, one flawless performance under high pressure outweighs years of online hype. Views can be manufactured. Discipline cannot. SB19 proved they don't break when stakes rise, and Hollywood noticed. Because trust, once earned on stage, travels faster than any algorithm ever could. Viral acts excites the internet. Bankability excites Hollywood. The two are rarely the same. Viral acts spike fast and disappear faster because attention doesn't equal commitment. Hollywood isn't built on clicks. It's built on conversion. The question is never how many people watched. It's how many showed up, paid, and came back. This is where SB19 quietly separates themselves. Streaming numbers fluctuate. Touring power doesn't. Ticket buyers represent intent, not curiosity. SB19's audience doesn't just consume, they commit. They plan, travel, and return. That behavior signals stability, and stability is the most valuable currency in entertainment economics. Hollywood understands that long-term revenue comes from repeatable demand, not explosive peaks. A fan base that sustains multiple tour legs, sells out venues, and responds across regions reduces financial risk. That's why touring leverage consistently outweighs streaming totals in executive decision-making. SB19's fan base isn't loud noise. It's structured support. It scales across cities, survives time gaps, and responds to higher price points. That's not hype behavior, that's market behavior. From Hollywood's perspective, SB19 represents something rare, revenue you can predict. And in an industry built on managing uncertainty, predictability isn't boring, it's powerful. In Hollywood, unpredictability is expensive. Controversy, personal drama, or public implosions make even the most talented acts risky. Partnerships falter, tours get canceled, and brand deals evaporate. Hollywood invests not in excitement. It invests in predictability, in acts whose reliability translates into financial certainty. That is where SB19 excels. Their public persona is meticulously professional without being artificial. There are no viral scandals, no sudden outbursts, no erratic social media behavior that could destabilize perception. Each member maintains composure, consistency, and focus, signaling a group that can perform under pressure without derailing schedules or commitments. This is not just discipline, it is a strategic brand asset. In an era where chaos often masquerades as authenticity, discipline itself becomes a luxury trait. It is rare for globally visible artists to maintain growth, relevance, and public favor without personal drama. SB19 embodies this. Their calm, professional, and reliable image communicates a low-risk, high-upside proposition. Hollywood executives can confidently invest in shows, tours, collaborations, and sponsorships, knowing the group will deliver. This is why, in 2025, their image became as critical as their performances. Hollywood doesn't chase unpredictability, it avoids it. SB19's steady professionalism positions them not merely as entertainers, but as a bankable, scalable, and globally trusted brand. Hollywood rarely creates new categories. Instead, it looks for gaps waiting to be filled, areas where demand exists, but supply is limited or formulaic. By 2025, K-pop saturation in the West was undeniable. Western executives had audiences, strategies, and templates established for Korean groups. But that market left a silent vacuum, a non-Korean, highly disciplined, globally adaptable act with Southeast Asian roots and cultural fluency. SB19 quietly stepped into that slot. They are not a replication of K-pop. They are a blueprint for Southeast Asia, combining polished production, linguistic versatility, and cross-cultural appeal. Their music, performance, and professionalism signal potential for collaboration, touring, and cross-market expansion in a way that feels natural rather than forced. Hollywood recognizes that while K-pop opened doors, the next wave requires expandable structures, not carbon copies. SB19's ability to adapt to multiple languages, media formats, and cultural expectations makes them scalable without losing authenticity. They are expandable into markets where others might feel foreign or incompatible. In industry terms, they don't compete with existing acts. They occupy a strategic space that was empty, a global slot Hollywood had been searching for. By quietly filling this gap, SB19 has positioned themselves as a predictable solution to a strategic problem. They are not just another international group. They are the act Hollywood can now build around. Hollywood doesn't measure success by likes or views. Social media metrics are fleeting. They are signals, not guarantees. What truly matters is industry validation, endorsement from the people who control stages, festivals, collaborations, and deals. One elite acknowledgement can outweigh millions of casual fans. That's the reality of reputation economics. Closed-room respect carries weight far beyond public applause. Producers, festival curators, label executives, and seasoned industry scouts watch quietly, analyzing consistency, professionalism, and long-term potential. They don't cheer, they evaluate. Every performance, interview, and interaction builds a silent dossier. Hollywood remembers patterns. One mistake or one triumph can redefine perception for years. In 2025, SB19 crossed that threshold. They were no longer only a viral sensation, they were an industry-recognized act, trusted by the gatekeepers who decide which international artists receive serious investment. Festivals extended invitations without publicity. Producers initiated private conversations. Their reputation in these circles became self-reinforcing. Once Hollywood insiders recognized reliability, curiosity turned into calculated commitment. This distinction is crucial. Fans validate passion. Industry validates longevity. Endorsements don't just open doors, they keep them open. SB19's credibility in professional circles ensures that opportunities in Hollywood aren't fleeting. When insiders trust an act, attention is no longer temporary, it becomes structural. This is reputation over applause, a signal that Hollywood now cannot ignore. In the early stages of their career, SB19 carried a title, Representatives of P-pop. It was a mantle of introduction, signaling possibility, curiosity, and proof that the Philippine pop scene could compete globally. By 2025, that label had evolved into something heavier, leaders of a movement, not participants in it. The narrative shifted from novelty to responsibility. Leadership in the music industry is less forgiving than representation. Mistakes that might be excused during experimentation are scrutinized under the lens of influence. SB19's performances, tours, and public appearances no longer only reflected themselves, they reflected an entire genre, a region, and the expectations of a global audience. The stakes increased, and so did the scrutiny. This transition is irreversible. Once a group demonstrates that it can consistently deliver artistry, professionalism, and market impact, stepping back to mere representation is not an option. 2025 crystallized that shift. SB19 moved from being proof of concept to blueprint for P-pop's global expansion, carrying a responsibility that extends beyond their fan base. Hollywood recognizes leadership. It invests in it. SB19's rise illustrates that influence is cumulative. Once earned, it reshapes expectations. The burden is heavier, the spotlight brighter, and the margins for error smaller. But the payoff is permanent. They are no longer simply participants in a global music ecosystem. They are setting the pace, defining the rules, and leading P-pop into a new era. Hollywood attention is rarely permanent, but when it arrives at the right moment, it creates structural change, not a passing trend. SB19's rise in 2025 is one of those moments. This isn't a viral spike or a social media fad. It is the result of years of disciplined growth, strategic positioning, and consistent performance. Hollywood now sees them as a predictable, bankable entity, and predictability creates staying power. Surface-level exposure can vanish overnight, but structural integration cannot. SB19's attention comes through touring credibility, festival invitations, and private industry endorsements. These are not temporary measures. They are functional footholds in Hollywood's ecosystem, granting access to collaborations, media partnerships, and future bookings that are hard to revoke. Once an act is embedded into this system, retreat is no longer possible. Ignoring SB19 now carries risk. The industry has learned to value repeatable revenue, professional discipline, and cultural versatility over viral hype alone. Groups that reach this stage become benchmarks, not experiments. Hollywood trusts what survives scrutiny, and SB19 has proven resilience under pressure. The attention they receive in 2025 will compound, shaping booking decisions, sponsorships, and creative partnerships for years. At this level, visibility doesn't rewind, it escalates. SB19's presence is no longer optional. It is integrated into the global entertainment architecture, ensuring long-term relevance. Hollywood didn't discover SB19 in 2025. It finally recognized what was inevitable. For a front-row view of where global pop is headed next, like, subscribe, and stay tuned, this story is only beginning.